Okay, so this is like the second time of me filming this because the lighting is just like not behaving. But hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been a bit of a shit lately, but I will explain why I've been a shit either at the end of this video or another little mini video. Not quite sure yet. And I'm sorry that I'm sniffing. I'm a bit hay fevery and just, I work in a school and I pick up every germ imaginable because children. And yeah, this just might not work how it's supposed to. And I'm sorry if I keep taking sips of tea because I just need to keep it fluid. I was going to say moist, but fluid. Let's just go with that. Shut up, Jess. So I asked, okay, so a little bit of context. I do get quite a lot of private messages on Twitter and Instagram. And it's usually, I say 90% of the time it's art related and art advice. And I never want to reply to them because I don't think I can put all that I need to say down in like a quick 10-minute reply, like text reply. So I thought I'll do a video, I can go into detail, that'll be better. So I apologise if this video is a bit long. But I wanted to make sure that I answered all of your questions as thoroughly as I can. Your Average Malik says, any tips for those who want to start an art YouTube channel? Thanks in advance. Peace. Well, I'm not going to do that again because that was awkward. But well, those of you who already subscribed to me will know how much of a shit I am when it comes to putting out content, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. I think the only solid advice I can give you is just keep making content, put it out as often as you can. Obviously the YouTube algorithm favours people who can put out scheduled like weekly content, so I would aim for that. I'm trying to aim for that myself, and just make videos about what you like. Your audience isn't stupid, like they know if you're enjoying what you're doing or not, so yeah. And also listen to your audience as well, because I think it's important to have like a good relationship. A good relationship with your little community that you're trying to build. Yeah, that's my advice on starting a YouTube channel. Down the Rabbit Hole asks, hi, I've been wanting to start selling prints of my work and I was wondering if I can sell prints of my fan art or just commissions only because of copyright. Thank you, have a lovely day. Oh, I hope you have a lovely day too. I do sell prints on my Etsy store, and most of them are fan art, if not all. So I personally sell prints at conventions and online of fan art as well as original art, but fundamentally fan art is illegal. You just kind of have to test the waters a little bit. Yes, it is illegal, but 90% of convention stock is generally fan art. That's kind of how it's always been. I think you just kind of have to be prepared to take a piece of work down if the original content creator is not happy with what you're doing. I would definitely say be wary of Disney because they are shit hot on their copyright agenda. Fan art is illegal, but everybody does it. Just be careful. Melon Art. I like that name. What do you think is the best way to practice and what materials do you like the most? The best way to practice, I'm assuming art. I think the main thing to take into consideration that you actually, do need to practice as often as you can. As often as you humanly can. I try and draw during lunch breaks and any kind of free time, and if I have the energy when I come home, I'll draw a little bit then. As for practicing, I kind of like the concept of iterative drawing. I think that's what it's called. Sycra Yasin has a fantastic video explaining iterative drawing, and I'll link that here and down below, and you should go check that out because he explains it beautifully. But the gist of it is that you need to put the mileage in with your drawing to get better at what you're trying to draw. Like say if, okay, I suck at drawing hands, which I do, personally anyway, you need to draw more hands if you want to get better at drawing hands, if that makes any sense. I'm probably not explaining this fantastically, so go watch his video. He explains it so much better. But yeah, I believe in the practice of iterative drawing. And what are my favourite art supplies to use? I use a lot. I'm terrible when it comes to art supplies because I'm always just like, oh, I see it and I'm just like, I need it. I tend to buy all that I can afford. But currently, I would say I love sketching in Prismacolor Coloraze pencils. My favourite shade or colour is Carmine Red. I do a lot of... I bought a pack of 24 just Carmine Red Coloraze pencils from Amazon. And I'm nearly all through them, and I only bought them a couple of months ago. So I power through those pretty quickly. But yeah, it is a Palomino Blackwing Pearl pencil, and this thing is like drawing with butter. It is gorgeous to sketch with. I love it so much. You can get so many different tones out of just one pencil, and I love art supplies that can do like a lot of things, because the less I have to carry around with me, the better, because I'm one of those people that will shove their backpacks full of stuff, so it's literally like carrying another human on top of you. So yeah, any art supply that can do a multitude of things is... I also love Faber-Castell Polychromos colouring pencils. Those are really nice to sketch with, really pigmented for colouring pencils, and also they blend really well with watercolour, the same as Coloraze pencils do. So I like those quite a lot. And I'd say favourite sketchbooks are going to be Moleskine for sketching and inking. Yeah, Stillman and Burns sketchbooks for heavier things like watercolour. Basically, a lot of water involved in a process, and I'll probably use a Stillman and Burns sketchbook because the leaves of paper are almost as thick as cardstock, and it is divine. I'm going to put this down before I lose it now. Tea break. Next question. Hayley A. Draws asks, how to get more confident in your work / get art noticed more. Also, I love your artwork. It's amazing. Thank you, Hayley. You guys are so nice. How to get more confident in your artwork. That is a tricky one, because you're only going to be happy and confident in your artwork for so long, and then you're going to improve, or you're not going to like it, which will push you to improve. So it will always be a kind of like a weird little graph you got going on there. At some point you will be more confident in your art, and others you won't. My advice would just be to push through it and just keep going. In regards to getting your art noticed more, if you're uploading to social media, make sure you tag everything that is relevant to the piece you are uploading, especially for Instagram. I think Instagram is the best one for just still images. Yeah, thank you, Hayley, for your question. Rachel Jokes 101. How do you develop an art style? Also tips on how to get commissions. How do you develop an art style? Again, a difficult question, because most people find their art styles through just pure experimentation. I mean, if it helps you, look at other artists and illustrators and see what you like most about their styles and maybe emulate it with your own twist. But generally I wouldn't advise that, because you will probably get bored of it pretty quickly. So develop your own like natural style would just be to keep drawing. If you start uploading to social media, it doesn't have to be a public account. You can make yourself a private account and keep uploading your art just as like a reference or a backup, so you can go back to it later, and you'll definitely see the change or the progression might be slow, or it might be super fast, but I guarantee you will see a style developing. You just can't see it yet because obviously you're only at your current level. I hope that made sense. I've got a couple of questions on commissions. Joe and Rach asked tips on how to get commissions. Also, I'm thinking of starting commissions, but I'm unsure and nervous. Any tips? This is how I conduct commissions, but 1, take full payment up front. You might choose to take half at the start and half at the end. But I personally, the way that I work, I take full payment up front because I've been burned too many times. Number 2, make your client sign a contract. And I'm not talking like a huge big like contract that has many different clauses. Just like a simple, the client agree to pay this amount by this date, and also final revisions will be made on this date. If you want me to make a whole video about how I conduct commissions, leave me a comment and I'll do that for you. Tips on getting them. Again, I'm not the best person to ask because I don't do many and I don't get many. My commission slots generally are always open and they never get filled unless it's kind of like around Christmas time. But make yourself a price list with examples on, so people know what they're paying for. That would be my commission advice. Sabrina asks, how do you find inspiration and gain confidence and develop a style as you go along? Okay, I think I've answered the confidence and the style bit. I've been having a really long art block. How do you get rid of it? Thank you so much. I love your art. Have a nice day. Oh, I hope you have a nice day too. Well, art block is a bit of a controversial subject in the art YouTube community at the present time. I can make a whole video on this probably, but I'm not going to because I can't deal with that right now. I do think art block exists. I do. But only in the sense that people use the term art block as an umbrella term for other explanations that they would like to keep to themselves. I do think art block exists, but it is up to you how you deal with it. You kind of have to sit there and think to yourself, okay, what am I lacking? Do I feel crappy? Do I lack inspiration? Do I lack motivation? Inspiration and motivation are very two different things. For inspiration, I would just look at things that you love. Your favourite TV show, comic book, magazine, film, gallery, nature, anything that you love. Go look at that thing and then draw that thing. That would be how I would push through a lack of inspiration, because inspiration is a fickle fiend. Do not wait around for it. It won't come to you. Just keep pushing through it. Yeah, that would be my advice. Don't wait for inspiration to come knocking. Thank you, Sabrina, for your question. How do you decide what to draw? What inspires you and where to start when you feel lost about what to draw? Like I just said, I will go back to things that I love. If I'm feeling in an art rut, I'll probably just like whack on some Sailor Moon and sketch from that, or I'll go out and have an experience, even if it's just going for a walk or going to get a coffee or anything like that. Day trips for me are super inspiring. So find what makes you click and then go do that thing. And also when you're feeling lost about what to draw, that unfortunately is a problem that you yourself are going to have to push through. But again, just find things that you like. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Draw because you like it and you enjoy it. Don't push through it when you don't want to, unless you're working for somebody else, like you have an illustration client that you're producing work for. I would just suggest researching a lot the thing that you are drawing for this client. Lord Firewing asks, do you think artists that use references are any less of an artist? Not like tracing, but like looking at a picture and drawing it. No, I don't think artists that use reference are any less than of an artist. I mean, if you're taking somebody's photograph and you've copied it almost exactly, like, okay, but that's not very creative. I mean, if you use a photograph that you're just using it for the pose, but then you add your own like character on top of just this pose, then I do that all the time. I always have to use reference for poses because it just needs to happen sometimes, or else it will come out looking like utter crap. I had a private message the other day that went something along the lines of how do you deal with getting your anatomy correct, because poses look like shit when I draw them from my imagination, and I have the exact same problem sometimes. I look at a lot of medical textbooks actually, and some resources that I would really recommend if you're having trouble with anatomy. Any kind of book by Andrew Loomis is fantastic. I love his books. There's also a lot of theory in them. I'd say they're 50% like drawn tutorials, and then the other half is text, and it is really worth the read as well as looking at the tutorials. I'm just trying to find a good page. Yeah, he goes through like perspective and looking at like the restraints of the human anatomy, which is something I struggle with. Like, I make extra long limbs, but if that's something you want to do with your style, then go ahead. But I would really suggest learning the foundation rules before you break them. It'll help you in the long run, and it will make your work look a little bit more realistic. These books are quite expensive, so if you can't afford them, I'll leave a link in the description box of where to get the free PDF downloads. But yeah, I really recommend Andrew Loomis, and just looking at medical textbooks, which I do a lot of. I've already started my Christmas list, and I've asked for a medical grade skeleton that med students use. So I'm looking forward to that. Another resource that I used to use a lot, I don't use it so much often now, but I really recommend it, is this website called artist.pixlovely. I'll put it there. It simulates a life drawing class, and I honestly can't get across to you enough how much life drawing can help you if you're trying to draw anything. Mainly I do life drawing classes, like figurative drawing, like people or like expressions, but yeah, it honestly can't help you enough. If you can afford life drawing classes, go to one. If not, use this website and pick from figurative, animals, facial expressions, and set up your own kind of class, and it will shoot images at you and tell you how long you have to draw that image. It is fantastic. I could probably go on about art resources all day, so if you'd like that in a completely separate video, then leave me a comment and I'll get on it. I think that's all of Instagram questions now. Oh, and a quick one. Pavni asked me what my favourite sketchbooks for watercolour is. I have two. One is the Canson mixed media. That's like a cheap version of the sketchbook that I use for like tests. My most expensive sketchbook, which comes in at about £17. It's so expensive, but it is beautiful, and that would be the Stillman and Byrne. I'll write the exact one that I get either here or in the description box. But yeah, I think that's all my Instagram questions. God, this video is going to be very long. My friend Helen asked me, what do you do when a drawing isn't quite going how you imagined it, like the pose you had in mind just doesn't work, etc.? I am incredibly dramatic when this doesn't work. Recently I was doing a commission for a client, and it was a large A2 watercolour painting, and when I was doing the initial undersketch, I just couldn't get it right, and I think about 3 times I just peeled the tape off of my board and just ripped it up and just threw it out the window. That's how I cope with that, and I will just start again. If a piece isn't working, stop working on it. Stop trying to make it work. Throw it away or just turn the page in your sketchbook. Don't linger on it. Don't spend any more time. The quicker you can realise a composition isn't working, the better. So don't spend any more time on it than you have to. Just start again. Yeah, I would just start again. I got another question from Sniper Honey Viper. I like that name. What do you do when you can't think of anything to draw? I think I've already answered that a little bit, but I'll just go back to things that I enjoy looking at. Thank you for asking all your lovely questions. If you want to ask me questions for the next Q&A, message me on Twitter or Instagram. You're probably going to find me. I'm most responsive on Twitter. So if you want to get immediate response from me, tweet me. Both my Instagram and my Twitter are @BlackVelvetron. For commissions, I have an Etsy store. So go there if you want to chat to me about commissions. But yeah, you can private message me on Twitter if you want to ask me a question that you don't want people to see publicly. Just let me know that you don't want anybody else to see it, and I'll respond. As for my uploading schedule, recently I've just started a new job, so it will be a little bit hit or miss, and it has been quite temperamental lately, especially with my internet. Like, I have been making videos, I just wasn't able to upload them, but I'm finally getting all those issues sorted now. But yeah, I'm aiming for 1 video a week. I just honestly can't decide on which day of the week to upload on. So if there's a particular day that you guys would like to watch a video from me, let me know down below in the comments. Also, if there are any particular specific videos you want to see from me, let me know and I will consider it. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me. I know I'm a shit. I am getting better. I actually have quite a few videos already pre-filmed, ready to go. I'm just trying to decide when my upload day is going to be. And also a quick note, thank you so much. We've just hit 4,000 subscribers, which blows my fucking mind. And there's a plane going by. Oh, Ryanair. Thank you so much. Like, I just can't. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. I hope that we can all get better at art together. That's what I want this channel to be. Just us getting better at art and helping each other and just being awesome. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and I will see you next week for another speed draw video. Thank you for all your questions and I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Bye.